Right. Hello and welcome everyone back to the Collective Minds podcast. It is election day. Who else is excited to watch all the BS about to go down? Gonna be playing with your feelings tonight a little bit. As we've seen the left do it before, you're gonna see them probably start talking like they're a little bit worried. They're a little bit worried and really kind of give you the feeling that, oh, we have it in the bag. And then they're gonna come at you with something in the middle of the night or the next day, or who knows, could be a week from now. They're talking like this is the first time they've ever done an election, but everything's safe and effective, just like those shots. So hopefully you're there. So this is not a conspiracy. This is happening. Dailymail.com. The U.S. is to test hypersonic nuclear missile tonight, just hours after election polls close. Well, the ones that are supposed to close will be closed. The other ones will be sneaking in ballots. However, if Trump is too big, right, this year, it's too big to rig. They can't do it. So the U.S. military is set to conduct a test launch of a hypersonic nuclear missile hours after polls close on election day. An unarmed Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM, is scheduled to blast off between 11:01 p.m. and 5:01 a.m. Pacific time from California's Vandenberg Space Force Base. So this is crazy because some people out there are saying Trump's still been in power over the military. It's crazy that the Space Force is launching an intercontinental ballistic nuclear missile the night of the election. Now, is that a warning from Biden saying this is what we got, so don't be no civil war? Or is this stay back, China and Russia, no World War III? Or is it the other way? Is it a warning from Trump? The same kind of thing. Just same people. Some Americans have expressed concerns about the nuclear weapon test on the same day as the country is casting their votes for the next president. But military officials noted that the test is routine and was scheduled years in advance. How many years? They said the purpose of the test was to show the readiness of nuclear U.S. forces. So it's actually to demonstrate and provide confidence in the nation's nuclear deterrence amid fears of the growing threat of the outbreak of World War III. So, how was this planned years in advance if we're on the threat of an outbreak of World War III now? That's like the first question I would ask. The exercise will see the ICBM travel 4,200 miles from the base to Kwajalein Atoll, a small island in the North Pacific, which will take only 22 minutes. The weapon can reach speeds over 15,000 miles per hour, allowing it to hit any target worldwide in just 30 minutes after its launch. Moscow sits about 5,900 miles from California, while Beijing is about 6,000 miles away, so 100 miles more. I didn't know it's not in the same direction, but look at that. So they're only sending it 4,200 miles away, 22 minutes, which means they could definitely hit that 6,000 mile mark in 30. So just a little math there for you. The two nations deemed a threat to the U.S. It's a little picture of it for you, where it's going. The ICBM is one of two currently used by America. The other is submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, that are deployed from underwater submarines, or UFOs. However, the U.S.'s Titan topped speeds of 16,000 miles per hour when it was used from 1963 through 1987, meaning to me that this is just a missile. It's not even a big deal for the U.S. If they're predicting speeds lower than what they were using in 1963, yeah, we're thinking there's something that could hit almost instantaneously, right? Like a laser weapon. Titan was capable of traveling to a target more than 6,000 miles away in less than 30 minutes. Look at that. So the old one was actually faster. That's weird. So why would they be flexing to other nuclear, first world, our enemies, the biggest threat, they say, a missile that's worse than the one they were using from 1963? Says, but the missile was phased out to make way for more advanced systems, such as the MX Peacekeeper, that had a similar speed and distance. So even the newer one that they had this similar speed and distance, but this one has less. It's weird. The ICBM is a vital component of the U.S. military's nuclear forces, capable of delivering a nuclear payload to targets around the world, but is scheduled to be phased out by 2029 and replaced with the LGM 35A Sentinel ICBM. The U.S. Air Force said that the Sentinel weapon system is the most cost-effective option for maintaining a safe, secure, and effective land-based leg of the nuclear triad and would extend its capabilities through 2075. That's a crazy guess on technology. That's a lot of years. A safe, secure, and effective. It sounds like the election propaganda. The upcoming weapon will replace the 400 Minuteman III ICBMs currently in service for more than 50 years in Air Force missile fields at F.E. Warren Air Force Base, Wyoming, Montana. There we go. The California base conducted the same test in June. So it's just another test with a weapon that's slower than a previous one, it looks like. I don't know how that would be deterring anyone if they already know you have it and have had it for 60 years. Let's see. And they were just asking, what was it? The Navy? Air Force. Why are they talking to the Air Force if it's Space Force thing? So it says Colonel Brian Titus, Space Launch Delta 30 Vice Commander, that's a crazy name, said his test launch marks the start of a remarkable week for our Guardians and Airmen at Vandenberg, with 2 test launches scheduled from the Western Range. These tests hold immense significance, not only for our nation's defense, but also serve as a pivotal moment in showcasing the exceptional capabilities and expertise of our dedicated team. The upcoming test, however, comes less than a week after North Korea vowed to stand by Russia until its victory in Ukraine. In just days of Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warned the U.S. and Russia are very close to engaging in direct military conflict. Well, I believe that because we have U.S. soldiers in Ukraine. That makes a lot of sense there. Under the current president, former Vice President Joe Biden, who has taken the downward spiral of Russia phobia in the U.S. to its logical conclusion, our countries are on the brink of direct military conflict, he told the Hurriyet Daily without elaborating. Okay. Asked about next week's U.S. election pitting former Republican President Donald Trump against Democratic nominee Kamala Harris, Lavrov said the outcome would make little difference to Russia. We have no preference. When the Trump administration was in power, it adopted the highest number of anti-Russian sanctions compared to its predecessors. He said, yeah, that's good right there. It's telling you to vote for Trump. Look at that. He sanctioned China and Russia. Even the Russians don't like him. It's bad for Russia if Trump wins. But, you know, if Kamala wins, they can just beat her into submission like they've done with Biden for the past 4 years. No matter who wins the elections, we don't think the United States' anti-Russian bent can change. Yeah. Well, that's just fine with me, as long as we're not sending troops and all of our money into Ukraine to fight a war that is not ours. That will not be won. So, yeah, election day, all of a sudden they're sending a nuclear missile to a small island in the Pacific. Interesting. And at the same time, they're saying it's to deter World War III. However, it is a missile that is slower and less capable than one that we've been using for 60 years. That'll get them. All right. That's it for you for now. Election night. Who knows what could happen? Make sure to leave a comment, a like, subscribe if you're new here, and I'm out. So we'll catch you on the next one.